Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another review, and this time we have something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. This is the Moondrop Aria. Before we get into that, let's just talk about the giveaway. This month we're giving away one set of the Blonde Minis. This is the test run for our giveaways in the future, and to be in my chance of winning, you've just got to subscribe to the channel. I'm not going to ask you to like the video if you like the content. Don't like it because you've got to subscribe. But yeah, just to give something away to my subscribers or the people that watch these videos. We're going to start off with the blonde, and then we're going to move on to progressing to other things. I just want to do a test run first to make sure everything goes smoothly. So this is the Moondrop Aria. This has been much hyped because of its price to performance ratio. I believe this RRP is about $79, and from what I've heard of them in the past 2 weeks, this is a banging proposition for people shopping in the sub $100 range. To me, it's just better than anything that KZ is producing. I'm a bit sick of KZ's the way that they're leaning at this moment. They're trying a lot of different things, but they're just throwing at the wall and hoping something's going to stick. This seems well thought out, well put together, and it feels like really good value for money, especially because it's so close to Harman Curve tuning. So this is the box. It's cool. It's got a little manga character on the outside. It's got the graphing on the back as well, and yeah, high performance LCP diaphragm dynamic driver IEM. The packaging is super classy. This is a gorgeous little box, a beautiful design. It looks super classy and it feels super premium. I would not have expected to have seen this on an $80 IEM, especially when you consider the absolute trash boxes and packaging and accessories that KZ think that they can get away with at this price point now. Yeah, this is a step in the right direction for the budget stuff, and I really like it. So as always, this has been unboxed before, and I've just realized that I've not put it away correctly, but yeah, you get this little flap here. Underneath you've got the case, which I believe I might have put in upside down. Yep. So the case will come like this, and it's a beautiful little case. It's small and it's generic, but it's very tastefully done with the textured packaging on the outside, and then the Moondrop logo and the little gold brass zipper tab on it. Really nice. I really like that. Underneath you get this little box, and in there you have this little set of tweezers that allow you to change the filters on the ends of the earphones. Yeah, that's something I've seen on a couple of earphones now, and seems to be the way that they're going. Let's take the earphones out and we'll put them to the side. This is just a pain in the ass to get them out. So earphones out, we'll put the box to the side, and we'll discuss the cable. The cable is let's talk about the accessories first. These are fine. These are the ear tips that come included with it. They're cheap earphones, they're generic, but they're perfectly good for this sort of price range. If you want to upgrade your tips in the future, buy some SpinFits, buy some MHCs, go ahead. You just get a packet of silicons in different sizes, and that's fine. As I say, for the price point, they seal in the ear quite well. I wish that there would be a sort of harder silicone, but for the money, there's very little to complain about there. So the case is nice. It's all generic stuff, but it's nicely done, tastefully done. The color schemes, and they've not gone for a big logo. I just like this little gold font. I think it looks quite a classy little case. Earphones to the side. The cable, this is a sub $100 cable. It's not a good cable in the grand scheme of things, but under $100, it's a very good cable. Especially, again, when we talk about KZ. KZ cables are the most trashy cables I've ever seen in my life, and they are something why I just won't recommend KZ earphones, because I feel like, for me, the overall performance of an earphone doesn't just extend to the sound, it extends to how I'm going to use it. And I feel like the KZ are so cheap. Some companies like Tin Hi-Fi have a really, really good set of cables on, like their T2, their T3 and T4. Better so than these ones. But this is kind of more something similar that you would find on, I think like the Shazi has a similar sort of, they've gone for the corded cable. It's nice. It's actually, it has a little bit of memory retention that you can see there, but it's not too bad, and it wraps up quite nicely, and it's fairly resistant to tangles. I can do the drop test on it there, and it will only okay, that time I wrapped it kind of tight, but most of the time it behaves itself, and it is quite resistant to tangling. It's just the only problem is it holds these memory shapes a little bit more than I would like, and they probably would have done better if they'd gone for a more fluid sort of braiding pattern on it. You can see that cord actually braids up and holds the memory quite badly. Right angle jack connector, I actually really like this. It's got a nice big chunky strain relief on it. It's a 3.5mm cable. It's got these two little cutout slots that give you a nice little grip when you're pushing it into your device. It's metal, and yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Goes into a metal splitter and metal slider or cinch, cable cinch. Very nice. The bottom of the cable doesn't annoy me as much as the top of the cable. The top of the cable you can see quite badly retains memory, and that's because it's a single strand and it doesn't have that twist that locks it sort of straight. This sort of allows it to do its own thing. This will, over time, as long as you don't have them wrapped up, over a few hours, will straighten itself out and become a lot looser. The good thing is that despite being cord, it's not very microphonic. It has this tubing, this sort of rubberized coating over the outside to form the ear hook, and then it's got little plastic 2-pin connectors. This is, I prefer an MMCX, but the good thing going on here is that they have a recessed 2-pin connector, so there is that added protection from, if you move it this way, it's not the pressures being put onto the 2 pins. Instead, it's been put onto the plastic body there, which interacts with the housing. So I like that they recessed that connector. I always say go for the hooded or go for the recessed, but never go for the flush 2-pin connectors. I've just had too many pins corrode or bend on me. So that's the cable. Pretty decent considering the price. The earphones themselves, absolutely spot on. Huge fan of the build quality on these. I love that they've not gone with the resin body. These are more expensive resin body earphones, but this in hand versus any of the KZ earphones just is worlds apart. It's got a decent heft to it. It's all metal. It's super solid. It's well constructed, and it looks super classy with this little design on the outside of it. I love the way that these are built, and I think that they represent excellent value for money, along with something like the Tin earphones, who are something like the Tin T2, T2 Plus and T3. They've got really good metal construction, but they have this sort of weird barrel design, which a lot of people don't like. This is the traditional IEM style, and it's a small housing, it's metal, and it's very comfortable. So in terms of insertion depth, it's a medium depth insertion, meaning that it'll sit medium depth in your canal. I find that that's a good balance with the all metal body and the sort of way that it contours to your outer ear and the tragus and stuff like that. I find that they, despite being vented, you can see the 2 vent holes, that they have a very nice isolation properties, that they block out a lot of sound. So these are great for somebody that's going to be commuting or working in a busy office environment. I'll show you them both side by side just so you can see that spiral pattern. I just think that with the matte black and the spiral pattern, just super classy looking earphones, very nice, and metal grates on the end there. So the biggest thing that is going to send you towards buying these is the tuning. The tuning on these is fantastic in terms of it follows the safety of a Harman curve. Harman curve is a particularly friendly set of tuning. It's something that a lot of manufacturers try and attain when they're tuning their earphones, just because it's very hard to find something offensive about it. When something's Harman curve tuned, you're not really taking a risk that much. You sort of know that people are going to enjoy the sound, and that is what happens here. The sound is very, very pleasant, and you know, it's a exciting yet laid back sounding earphone. It's got a little bit of like treble sparkle on the top. It's got good bass extension, and it's got solid performance right through the mid-range. The low end has pretty decent sub-bass response. It manages to provide solid impact. It lacks in texture to more expensive earphones, especially when you get up to you know, electrostatics or planar earphones like the tin P1s again. It has good texture for the price point, is what I would say. And it's got more impact than something like a KZ that just has like 342 balanced armatures put in it. This has a more realistic impact in the sub bass. The mid-range, the slightest of bleed into the mid-range maybe. The mid-range is not what I would call warm. Sometimes at this price point you would have a sort of thickness and warmth in the mid-range. This doesn't have that. This has a very composed mid-range, very neutral sounding, but maybe even like slightly on the cold side, which works well in terms of the overall tuning. It's smooth, it's responsive. I'm going to say it's neutral, and it's inoffensive, and it has really good speed and also really good texture with vocals, especially male vocals sound very, very good with this. The treble is inoffensive. It has just enough sparkle to create a slightly larger soundstage than you would have expected. It's not got that sort of BA soundstage presentation from an all balanced armature earphone. It's just a really, really solid, gives you enough sort of oomph and energy in the top of the tuning to make it very versatile. You know, I can listen to jazz on this. I can switch to orchestral, or I can go back and listen to pop. I can listen to EDM. Actually, EDM with these is really, really good. You get the crescendo to the peaky highs building into the bass drops. I think it works really, really well with this. Versatile, you know, I would be happy to pick these up and just listen to anything with them. They might not be the best in all areas, but they are solid performers in all areas, especially when you consider the price on them. So that's going to be it for these. I believe they're $79 or so on RRP. Maybe you can get them lower. Maybe I'm quoting it completely wrong, but definitely recommend these. I'm super impressed with these. They're going to go into one of my top 10 lists of the under $100 earphones. When you consider everything, the construction, the sort of cable, the sort of care to the aesthetic and stuff like that, comfort, isolation, fantastic, well-rounded earphone and excellent value overall. So great job. That's it for this review. Remember, please subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel up to sort of 1,000 viewers or something like that, and yeah, you'll always be in with a chance of winning something once we get the giveaway sort of worked out, how we're going to carry it out and where we're going to be able to ship to and stuff. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.